Kirkintilloch Review, print speaking to the blind, celebrating 40 years of audio newspaper production. Welcome to this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast, recorded at the Bishopbriggs Media Centre by our amazing volunteers. You can get in touch with us via Facebook, Twitter or Instagram using @QAndReview. That is @CUEANDREVIEW. You can also contact us directly by emailing information@QAndReview.com. That is INFORMATION @CUEANDREVIEW.com, or by calling 0141 772 3976. That's 0141 772 3976.
This week's Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald podcast, date Wednesday, the 18th of December 2024, is read to you by volunteers Alan, Hunter, Ian, Jehan, Nikki and Philip. This will be the last podcast of the year, and we hope you enjoy it.
Inspection Celebration by Kevin McRoberts. Staff and pupils at Gartconnor Primary and Early Years Centre are celebrating following a positive inspection report from Education Scotland. The School and Early Years Centre were inspected in September 2024 and achieved the following ratings. Primary School, Learning, Teaching and Assessment, good. Raising Attainment and Achievement, good. Early Years Centre, Learning, Teaching and Assessment, very good. Securing Children's Progress, very good. The inspection team described the children as confident, respectful, proud of their school and nursery, and eager to learn. Among key strengths highlighted in the inspection report was the positive culture of learning created by senior leaders and the staff team. Inspectors also reported that staff supported children effectively to develop a shared understanding of how to be successful. Teachers and practitioners adopted an enthusiastic and collaborative approach to professional learning, leading to improved outcomes for children, and the children benefited from positive, trusting relationships with teachers and other adults who worked with them. Strong practices in numeracy and literacy lessons mean the children's skills are developing well in this area and improving their outcomes. Councillor Linda Williamson, Convener of Education, said, "There is so much to be proud of in this report for everyone at Gartconnor. From the Early Years Centre up into the school, the inspectors found so many positives in the way that the children are learning and developing. It is clear that everyone is working together for the benefit of the children and that they are thriving in a supportive environment where they feel valued and able to reach their potential. Congratulations to all at Gartconnor. I know they will continue to go from strength to strength." Acting Head Teacher Lynn McGoldrick added, "We worked together as a team and succeeded as a team. It's an honour to work with such talented, caring and kind children, parents and staff team. Thank you to everyone involved." That article was written by Kevin McRoberts.
This week in history. December 19, 1981, the Penlee lifeboat, Solomon Brown, was lost with her crew of 8, attempting to rescue the crew of the coaster Union Star, wrecked in violent seas off the Cornish coast. On this day last year, after weeks of intense earthquake activity, a volcano on the Reykjanes Peninsula in southwest Iceland prompted authorities to evacuate a nearby fishing town's nearly 4,000 inhabitants. December 20, 1961, the London bells of St Mary le Bow, Cheapside, began chiming again. They are the Bow bells in the rhyme Oranges and Lemons, with the range of whose sound true Cockneys must be born. December 21st, 1989, US troops invaded Panama to oust dictator Manuel Noriega. On this day last year. Human tears carry a substance that dampens down aggression, researchers at the Weizmann Institute of Science in Israel reported. In computerised tests, they found sniffing emotional tears from women reduced male aggression by more than 40%. December 22nd, 1989, a Romanian revolution overthrew President Ceausescu. Ceausescu's son Nicu was arrested. On this day last year, Wham shot to Christmas #1 with their hit Last Christmas, 39 years after the song was released, and denied top spot by Band-Aid's Do They Know It's Christmas? And that was This Week in History, read by me, Ian.
Check out the changes to services over Christmas. A report by Kevin McRoberts. As the countdown to Christmas continues, residents in East Dunbartonshire are being urged to check out the changes to essential council services over the holiday season. Bins, customer services, libraries, leisure centres and arts venues will all have revised opening and operating hours, and these are now published on the Council's website at www.eastdunbarton.gov.uk. Festive-information. The Council's waste service will not be operational on Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Day and Thursday, January the 2nd. Possible delays in the service provision are expected during this busy period, so residents are advised to leave bins on the pavement until the collection has taken place, which may be later in the day than usual. If your bin was due to be emptied on Wednesday, December 25th, collection will now take place on Friday, December 27. Bins due to be emptied on Thursday, December 26 will be collected on Saturday, December 28. And bins due to be emptied on Wednesday, January 1 and Thursday, January 2 will be collected on Friday, January 3 and Saturday, January 4, respectively. The Mavis Valley Refuse and Recycling Centre site will also be closed on Christmas Day, Boxing Day and January the 1st and 2nd, 2025. Over the rest of the festive period, the site will be open to the public Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and between 9 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. at weekends. Residents are reminded to book online prior to visiting the centre. Once the festive fun is over, don't forget to recycle your real Christmas tree to ensure that it doesn't contribute to rubbish going to landfill. From Friday, January 3 until Sunday, January 12, you can dispose of your tree in a skip at the following locations: William Patrick Library, Car Park, Kirkintilloch; Mavis Valley Recycling Centre, Bishopbriggs; Milngavie Community Education Centre, Milngavie. If you hold a Garden Waste 2024 permit, you can call the Customer Services team on 0300 123 4510 to arrange for your Christmas tree to be picked up or your garden waste bin emptied between Monday, January 13 and Sunday, January 19. Requests for Christmas tree or green bin uplifts can be made during office hours from Friday, January 3 until Friday, January 17. A full list of service changes and other important information, including customer service opening times during the festive season, can be found by visiting the Council's website at www.eastdunbarton.gov.uk. Festive information. Council leader Gordon Lowe said, "We have planned our service delivery throughout the holiday period to ensure that disruption to services during this time is kept to a minimum. I would like to wish everyone across our communities in East Dunbartonshire a very happy festive season. I would also like to reassure residents that if they have an urgent need, there will be council employees and resources available to provide assistance. Emergency help with council services will be available all over the festive season by calling 0300 123 4510. That report was written by Kevin McRoberts and recorded by me, Nikki.
Get Protected for Christmas as recorded by Hunter MacDonald. NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde, NHS GGC, is urging those eligible for flu and COVID-19 vaccinations and who haven't already received these to get them now to decrease risk of serious illness over the Christmas period. Statistics released by Public Health Scotland showed that the circulation of influenza A flu is increasing, with laboratory cases of flu nearly doubling in the last 2 weeks of November 2024 from 227 to 417 confirmed cases. These are anticipated to continue to rise over the coming weeks. There were also over 350 flu-related emergency hospital admissions in the first week of December and last winter. COVID-19 infections peaked in the last 2 weeks of the year, right in the middle of the festivities. Dr Ian Kennedy, NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde Immunisation Coordinator, said, "No one wants to be ill over Christmas. We're in the season of mass gatherings, cuddling the ones we love and travelling from one home to another as we celebrate with friends and family. Minimise the chances of spreading winter viruses by looking after yourself and others and taking the time to go for your winter vaccinations, whether it be flu, COVID-19 or both. Increase your chance of protection and decrease chances of serious illness and hospitalisation. The NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde Winter's vaccination drop-in bus will be at Chapel Street Car Park, Chapel Street, Lennoxtown tomorrow, Thursday, December the 19th, 9am to 4pm. No appointment is necessary. Check if you're eligible for flu and COVID-19 vaccinations at www.nhsinforum.scot/winter-vaccines. The refusal decision is upheld. East Dunbartonshire Council has upheld the decision to refuse permission for alterations to a house in Lenzie. A planning local review body considered a case regarding plans to redevelop a double garage at a property in Fern Avenue, transforming it into a single garage and habitable accommodation. Planning officers initially rejected permission due to the impact on amenity for a neighbouring property, while the proposed separate annex was deemed to be unacceptable as planning guidance requires annexes to be extensions to the main house. The application was also considered to be out of keeping with the historic environment. The applicant and their architect refuted these reasons, arguing the development would enhance the traditional character of the house and its surroundings. But at the review, councillors were unanimous in upholding the original delegated decision.
Canal Cruises with Santa by Kevin McRoberts. The Kirkintilloch branch of Seagull Trust Cruises has completed another busy year by hosting dozens of free Santa cruises this month. The branch organised a total of 49 festive cruises on 3 boats over a period of 6 days, sailing from both the Kirkintilloch Marina and its emergency pontoon next to its boathouse, with the boats going east to Hillhead Basin, then west to the stables. They carried more than 500 passengers from special needs primary schools, nursing homes and daycare centres, with Santa boarding each one to say hello to all of the passengers, exchange high fives, fist bumps and giving out presents. The weather was kind, although a bit breezy at times, with no ice on the canal. Graham Biggerstaff, chairman of the Kirkintilloch branch, said, Although this branch traditionally provides Santa cruises each year, this is the first time we've used 3 boats, being the Marion Seagull, Marjorie Seagull and the Yarrow Seagull. All were decorated inside and out with Christmas lights, each carrying up to 12 passengers and 5 crew, and fully wheelchair accessible. The cruises were provided free, fully crewed and supported by volunteer members, who serve free tea, coffee, juice and biscuits to all on board. Feedback from our passengers demonstrated that once again these high-demand cruises were very popular, giving many people a taste of the Christmas spirit in a free, unique, warm, musical and welcoming barrier-free environment on the water. Seagull Trust Cruises is run wholly by unpaid volunteers who take on the roles of skipper, crew, stewards and administration staff to take people with special needs for canal cruises in specially customised boats. The Kirkintilloch branch routinely serves over 6,000 passengers per season and relies entirely on charitable donations and grants to maintain the boats and run the organisation. Find out more at seagulltrust.org.uk/Kirkintilloch or www.facebook.com/STC That article was written by Kevin McRoberts and it was read by Jahan.
STEM Skills Rewarded at Academy. A report by Kevin McRoberts. Bishopbriggs Academy has achieved the STEM Nation Award, celebrating promoting and building on effective practice in sciences, technologies, engineering and mathematics. Education Scotland's STEM Nation Award is the cornerstone of the Scottish Government's STEM education and training strategy for Scotland. STEM skills are considered crucial as Scotland seeks to transition to net zero, particularly in key economic sectors, including the green economy, energy, space, advanced manufacturing, engineering, life and chemical sciences, food and drink, and creative and digital media. In order to achieve the STEM Nation Award, Bishopbriggs Academy had to gather and submit evidence demonstrating leadership, family and community learning, employability and partnership working, curriculum and learner pathways, and equity and equality. Head teacher Ian Donaghy said, "We're delighted to be awarded the STEM Nation Award, as it's recognition of the hard work and efforts of our young people and many of the staff involved. The increased variety of STEM options available to our young people has greatly enhanced our curriculum and made studying STEM subjects more readily accessible. The innovative and creative learning and teaching approaches included in our STEM courses have attracted pupils in the broad general education to get involved and engage in leadership roles as they move into the senior phase. Throughout their involvement, pupils are developing essential meta skills, enabling pupils to access a variety of positive and sustained destinations when they leave school. Bishopbriggs Academy was praised for its strong approach to pupil leadership in STEM and the comprehensive programme of professional learning available to staff. The school offers a Young STEM Leaders programme in S3 and S5 as part of its timetabled classes, with further leadership opportunities available to learners from S1 to S6. For the staff, learning for sustainability, meta skills and digital working groups all provide opportunities to engage in personal and collaborative professional learning. Gillian Hamilton, Chief Executive of Education Scotland, said, "Bishopbriggs Academy's success brings the total number of educational settings in Scotland with the award to 47, with over 250 further settings signed up for the programme. Bishopbriggs Academy has demonstrated rich, engaging and varied STEM experiences for learners, and we hope that this success will encourage even more of Scotland's schools and settings to apply for the STEM Nation Award. Councillor Linda Williamson, convener of East Dunbartonshire's Council's Education Committee, commented, "I am thrilled to hear that Bishopbriggs Academy has gained the STEM Nation Award. This award recognises the endeavours of the staff and young people at Bishopbriggs Academy, and I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to all involved." That report was written by Kevin McRoberts. Bench offers everyone some breathing space. A report by Ryanine Callan. Cala Homes West has unveiled a new breathing space bench at its housing development in Steps. The home builders partnered with mental health service Breathing Space to install the bench at its Earls Rise development in a bid to help boost mental health awareness among the residents who live in the community. Delivered by NHS24, Breathing Space is a free telephone and web chat service that aims to help those in Scotland living with low mood, stress, anxiety, or other forms of distress in their lives. The organisation first launched their benches in 2018 with the intention of creating a welcoming space where people can sit down, reflect and talk. The new bench is located at a park regularly used by Earls Rise residents looking to briefly escape their busy working day for some peaceful time out in nature. It also features a plaque with information on breathing space, directing people to the helpline, which is available on evenings and weekends for anyone struggling with their mental health. This is the 8th installation within a Cala West of Scotland development, following on from the introduction of benches at the likes of Jordan Hill Park in Glasgow's West End, Balgrey Gardens in Newton Mearns and Sequoia Meadows in Jackton. Ryan Smith, site manager at Earls Rise, said, "We are delighted to have this bench installed at Earls Rise and hope that the local community can take a moment to sit down and take a breather. Cala is committed to providing mental health support amongst our staff and raising awareness that is just as important as physical health." Natalie McGrory, a support officer for Breathing Space, commented, "We are pleased to have been able to install another bench at Cala Development." Breathing Space benches serve as a visual reminder on the importance of being open about mental health and reaching out to your loved ones or other trusted sources when you're feeling down. We are incredibly grateful to be able to continue working with Cala Homes West and look forward to seeing more breathing space benches installed across their developments. And that report was by Ryanine Callan.
House extension approved. East Dunbartonshire Council's Planning Board unanimously approved an application to extend a house in Kirkintilloch. At its most recent meeting, the board considered a planning application concerning a 3-bedroomed house in Alexandra Street. The proposed development was to demolish an existing rear extension in order to replace it with a larger one, external alterations to a garage and 2-storey side extension, painting windows and driveway resurfacing. A single objection was received expressing concern that demolition of the existing extension would affect a neighbouring property. However, planning officer stated that this was not a planning consideration, as the method of demolition and construction would be considered through building warrants, with any damage to neighbouring properties being a civil matter. Planning permission was therefore granted with a condition that development must begin within 3 years.
No one should be living in fear, by Julie Curry. Domestic abuse crimes have increased by 11% in Scotland, according to the latest figures from Police Scotland. Between April and September 2024, there were 20,271 reported crimes of domestic abuse, compared to 18,243 last year, an increase of 2,028 crimes. The figures have been published as Police Scotland launches its latest campaign to tackle domestic abuse. Assistant Chief Constable Steve Johnson, Executive Lead for Major Crime, Public Protection and Local Crime, said, "Domestic abuse continues to be a problem within our society. It is a crime that remains hidden behind closed doors, but we are committed to tackling it. The psychological harm that domestic abuse inflicts can be long-lasting and wide-ranging on not just victims, but also children and other family members. Our focus remains on sensitively and thoroughly investigating incidents reported, but we also want to see a reduction in offending, which is why we are launching our latest domestic abuse campaign. Scottish Government figures released last month report that in 2023-24, Police Scotland recorded 63,867 incidents of domestic abuse. Of those incidents recorded, 81% involved a male perpetrator and female victim, 15% featured a female perpetrator and male victim, and 3% were same-sex couples. Around 35% of all incidents reported where the age was known featured a male perpetrator under the age of 35. ACC Johnson added, "Our aim is to encourage young men to reflect on their behaviour and recognise that if they have started to use abusive, controlling or coercive behaviour, to realise that it's wrong and to change. There is advice available from our partner, Respect, to help them change their behaviour." Women can be abusers too. However, our figures consistently highlight that over 80% of incidents reported to us involve a male perpetrator, and so our focus remains on reducing offending by men. With this campaign, we are looking to influence those in the younger age brackets. Dr. Emma Forbes, Procurator Fiscal for Domestic Abuse, said Scottish courts take a rigorous approach to crimes of domestic abuse. She added, "It is not just about physical violence. It includes verbal, psychological, sexual and financial abuse, as well as coercive control and stalking. Controlling what clothing or makeup the victim can wear, restricting their movements, monitoring their communications, and preventing them from seeing loved ones are just some of the recognised forms of domestic abuse. No one should have to live in fear of a partner or former partner, regardless of their age or gender. I would urge every victim of domestic abuse not to suffer in silence, but to report it. You will be listened to and supported as we seek to secure justice." As the UK charity stopping perpetrators of domestic abuse, Respect is delighted to be part of Police Scotland's new campaign. Chief Executive Officer Joe Todd said, "The new campaign raises awareness of abusive and controlling behaviour. To tackle domestic abuse, we need to address the root cause and ensure perpetrators are stopped, held to account, and given the chance to change where appropriate. Respect focuses on perpetrators of domestic abuse, including its vital work with young people. Anyone who is concerned about their behaviour should call Respect on 0808 8024 040 or visit respectphoneline.org.uk/choose to stop. That article was written by Julie Curry.
Pupils Commended for Sustainability, a report by Kevin McRoberts. Pupils and educators at Gartcosh Primary School were recently visited to receive a commendation from environmental charity Keep Scotland Beautiful. As part of the 30th anniversary celebrations of the International Eco Schools and Young Reporters for the Environment programmes, Keep Scotland Beautiful hosted an online assembly, organised live lessons and set celebration challenges. Additionally, schools celebrating a milestone were visited to mark their success. Gartcosh Primary received a commendation for Learning for Sustainability, one of the 5 main climate action schools' outcomes. The school was visited by Keep Scotland's Beautiful's Chief Executive Barry Fisher and Education and Learning Officer Nicola Davidson, who presented the school's Eco Committee with a certificate. Barry said, "This year we celebrate 30 years of schools making an environmental difference through eco-schools. It's great that we were able to visit Gartcosh Primary School to present a certificate of achievement and to hear from the children, young people and educators about their inspiring actions and commitment to improving our environment. For the past 30 years, we have loved hearing about the remarkable achievements of our young people and the development of learning for sustainability across the world. EcoSchools is the largest sustainable schools programme in the world, operated internationally by the Foundation for Environmental Education and delivered by Keep Scotland Beautiful." That report was by Kevin McRoberts.
Changes on site. A company operating out of a former peatworks in Moodiesburn has submitted a retrospective planning application concerning changes made to the site. Prime Acres Limited submitted the application to North Lanarkshire Council. It regards a partial change of use class, the construction of a replacement shed and formation of a storage yard at the address in Cumbernauld Road. The application notes that the applicant was not initially aware of the need to submit a planning application as the building already existed and that dialogue has taken place with the Council's Enforcement Department. For further information or to comment on this application, visit North Lanarkshire Council's website and search for planning reference 24/01039/FUL.
Support offered to crime victims, a report by Don Renton. Victims Support Scotland, VSS, is encouraging people who have been impacted by crime in East Dunbartonshire and the Glasgow area to get in touch for emotional and practical support over the festive period. The independent charity offers in-person support alongside a helpline and web chat service that can provide support remotely. The charity's Emergency Assistance Fund, EAF, can also provide support to people who have urgent need of financial help as a direct result of crime, covering various essential goods and services, for example food, utilities, clothing, travel or security equipment. Victim Support Scotland services are easily accessible online, by phone or through in-person appointments. Local offices will remain open during the festive period. Kate Wallace, VSS Chief Executive, said, "Crime doesn't stop over the festive period and neither does our team. We know that this time of year can feel isolating for people impacted by crime. It's so important that people know that we are still open and ready to provide support on Christmas Day, Boxing Day and New Year's Day. A compassionate and knowledgeable conversation can go a long way to easing anxiety, and we can offer that and more. If you've been affected by crime, you can contact VSS by calling the free support helpline on 0800 160 1985, or go to victimsupport.scot for the web chat option. Opening times on Christmas Day, Boxing Day and New Year's Day are 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Normal opening times are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m, Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That report was by Don Renton.
Don't miss out on winter payments. Older Scots are being urged not to miss out on up to £300 of help with their energy bills as a key deadline looms. Advice Direct Scotland, which runs the national advice service advice.scot, is reminding households that they have until Saturday, December the 21st, to apply for pension credit and in turn qualify for the pension age winter heating payment. Successful pension credit claims can be backdated for up to 3 months, providing the applicant was eligible during that period. The pension age winter heating payment, which replaces the winter fuel payment in Scotland, provides £200 to qualifying households, increasing to £300 if someone in the household is aged 80 or over. Advice Direct Scotland is encouraging people to check their eligibility following recent policy changes by the UK and Scottish governments. It is also urging families to check in with older relatives to ensure they are aware of their entitlement to support. Connor Forbes, Policy Director at Advice Direct Scotland, said, "With the cost of living crisis and further energy price rises on the horizon, it's more important than ever for people to claim everything they are entitled to. There have been a lot of recent changes to benefits and eligibility criteria, and anyone who is worried or unsure can contact us for help. Our free and unique online calculator is the only tool tailored specifically for Scotland. It can ensure people are receiving all the support they are entitled to. Anyone who requires further guidance can contact Advice Direct Scotland by phone on 0808 800 9060 or online via www.advice.scot.
Provost's Year of Many Highlights by Provost Gillian Renwick. This year has once again provided me with some wonderful opportunities to celebrate the amazing people and groups that we have across East Dunbartonshire. It has been my privilege to meet lots of talented, committed, selfless and interesting people, whether that be at landmarks like the 100th birthdays or anniversaries, or at various community and charity events. Over the summer, I met the recipients of my Community Champion Awards, people nominated for the work they do for the benefit of others. It is always a pleasure to recognise such endeavours, as it is individuals like this who help improve our towns and villages for everyone. 2 local groups who have been contributing to life in East Dunbartonshire for decades celebrated milestones this year, and I was delighted to be able to help them mark the special occasions. The Kirky Players had their centenary, that's 100 years of the amateur dramatics group spreading fun and laughter, and the Kirkintilloch and District Soroptimists achieved 50 years, during which they have supported women and girls close to home and all over the world. Once again, I have been grateful to family, friends, colleagues and the people of East Dunbartonshire for supporting myself and Deputy Provost Colette McDermott in our fundraising efforts. A highlight for me was the fire walk we did for Epilepsy Scotland in the spring, which was an exciting experience. In the summer, we completed a sporting challenge, cycling, walking, swimming and pickleball, to raise funds for East Dunbartonshire Women's Aid, which is an exceptional charity. And this Christmas, council staff generously supported our appeal to help the East Dunbartonshire Food Bank. My thanks to everyone who was able to donate to these causes. Across the year, I am invited to attend the widest variety of events imaginable, and I am always keen to meet local people to discuss the arts, culture and environmental projects and find out what they are doing in these areas. I was delighted in 2024 to visit Gavin's Mill, attend Milngavie Heritage Trust exhibitions, listen to the Kirkintilloch male voice and ladies' choirs, go along to the Bears Den and Milngavie Highland Games, and much more. Life in East Dunbartonshire is all the richer for the efforts of all these groups, and I am grateful for each and every one of them and the contribution they make to our everyday lives throughout the year. I am grateful too for everyone across a huge number of roles who will be working and caring for people over the festive season. My thanks to those council staff who will continue to deliver vital frontline services, including to our most vulnerable residents. Thanks also to everyone working for the emergency services, NHS, armed services and charities in the service of others. As we draw 2024 to a close, I want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy New Year. That article was written by Provost Gillian Renwick.
As published on Wednesday the 18th of December, from the Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald letters page, let's talk. Please send your letters via email to kirkyherald@gscotland.co.uk. That's KIRKYHERALD @JNScotland.co.uk and write letters in the subject field. Please keep letters to a maximum of 300 words. Letters cannot be published without a name and postal address. Also include a daytime phone number if possible. We reserve the right to edit any letter. Defensive Realm. Sir, Rachel Reeves tells us she can't increase defence spending without making cuts elsewhere. Clearly, she doesn't realise that the defence of the realm must be any government's first priority, regardless of what cuts must be effected to make this happen. Reeves should listen to Al Cairns, the Veterans Minister and former Royal Marines Colonel, who says British forces, as they are, would be worn down in 6 months to a year in a major war. It is not for Rachel Reeves to give us either or choice. If X million or billion is what we need to keep this country safe, it is up to her to find the money. Yours, etc., Doug Morrison, by email. Protect our libraries. Sir, I am writing to express my strong concern regarding the proposed cuts to library services. This situation poses a significant threat to community resources that are essential for promoting education, literacy, and social interaction across Scotland. Libraries are indispensable assets that serve as gateways to knowledge and lifelong learning. They provide free access to information, technology, and a space for community activities. Reducing financial support for these services will disproportionately affect those who rely on them for the most, including students, job seekers, and vulnerable populations. While councils face tough financial realities, it is crucial they ensure that vital community services like libraries are not sacrificed. The anticipated rise in council tax may provide an opportunity to shore up funding for libraries rather than implementing cuts that damage the fabric of our communities. Moreover, it is essential for the Scottish Government to step in to ensure that councils have the necessary resources to maintain these crucial services. We must advocate for a budget that prioritises funding for libraries and other community services, rather than allowing the burden to fall solely on local authorities. Let us stand together to safeguard our libraries and the vital services they provide. Yours, etc., Alistair Marjorie, by email. Time to gamble. Sir, with support from the Tories, SNP and Greens at Holyrood, it looks like holding both a Westminster and Holyrood seat will shortly be banned. So what does that mean for the political aspirations of Stephen Flynn, leader of the much diminished SNP at Westminster, who wants to be an MSP and seemingly has ambitions to be SNP party leader and, heaven forbid, First Minister? Will he risk standing down as an MP and his party losing a by-election in a marginal seat for the sake of his personal ambition? He might get elected into Holyrood in 2026, on the list even if he's rejected by the electorate for a constituency seat. Or he may well not. Up for a roll of the dice, Stephen, eh? Yours, etc., Martin Redfern. By email. Flagrant campaigning, sir. In their recent budget, the SNP proposes to end the two-child welfare benefit cap, for which they've allocated no money, by the way, in time for the 2026 election. They propose to lift the winter fuel benefit cut for pensioners in time for the 2026 election. They aim to make the lowest income taxpayers the lowest taxed in the UK, by a whisker, in time for the 2026 election. All parties, from time to time, put party before country, but this budget is flagrant electioneering from a party that claims to put country, i.e. Scotland, first. Yours, etc., William Ballantyne, by email. Discredited. Sir, if it was not so serious for the people of Scotland, it would almost be laughable watching a Labour Prime Minister torpedoing his Scottish Labour Party leader with policies that have allowed the SNP to play the moral card around the winter fuel allowance and two-child benefit cap. Keir Starmer advises that the UK Government and the Department of Work and Pensions will work with the Scottish Government to assist with the removal of the two-child benefit cap. The SNP's policy has already been financially discredited by the Independent Institute of Fiscal Studies, but, regardless, the optics are all on the side of the SNP and the rest of their inept budget sits quietly in the corner. With the damage the SNP have brought upon Scotland across all aspects of public life over 17 long years, it will be ironic that a Labour government, not a Conservative government, will allow the SNP to continue to wreak havoc by potentially now winning the Holyrood election in 2026. Yours, etc., Richard Allison, by email. And that was the letters page.
Check on Others During Winter by Kevin McRoberts. As winter temperatures fall, NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde Public Health is urging people to check in on older and frail neighbours as well as their loved ones. With temperatures that have been regularly dropping to below freezing overnight, there's the prospect of many chilly days ahead. Beatrix von Wisman, consultant in public health at NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde, said, "Tough winter conditions can make it difficult for older and frailer people to leave their homes for essential items. Winter viruses also tend to increase in colder weather, leaving people vulnerable. We ask everyone to take a minute to check in with those around them to see if they need support. This could be as simple as picking up some essentials from the local shops, helping them to an appointment, gritting the path outside their home, or joining them for a cup of tea if they are feeling isolated. Small acts of kindness can make a big difference." In the colder days and weeks ahead, NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde offers these tips for navigating the challenging cold spells. Keep warm and keep moving. To keep warm in the cold, wear multiple layers and pay attention to keeping your hands and feet warm. Try not to sit still for too long. Keep moving, even if it's just a few steps from room to room. Keep the rooms in your home you regularly use adequately heated, at least 18 degrees centigrade if you can. If you're struggling to heat your home due to financial pressures, there may be support available to help. See costofliving.campaign.gov.scot and www.nhs.gc.scot/services/a-2-c/support-and-information-services. Look after your mental well-being and others too. This weather can impact mood and energy. Stay connected with others, even if it's just a phone call. If the weather is appropriate and you're fit and able, getting outdoors for a walk is also an excellent way to boost your well-being. Get vaccinated. Winter viruses like flu and COVID-19 increase during the winter months. If you're eligible, make sure to attend appointments to get vaccinated. Wash your hands. Keeping our hands clean and encouraging children to practice good hand washing as well helps to protect us against coughs and colds, as well as vomiting bugs this winter season. If you do have a cold, taking care to cover your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing, disposing of tissues into the bin, and promptly washing your hands afterwards can all help to prevent passing the infection to anybody else. If you need to go out in icy conditions, walk like a penguin. The comedy value of the walk doesn't go unnoticed, but it can help you avoid a harsh slip on the ice. Share this advice with friends and family, especially those in the older community who may be less steady on their feet. Find out more at www.nhsggc.scot/walk like a penguin health board appeal to keep safe during cold snap. Download the NHS Inform app. Familiarise yourself with self-help guides and care available by downloading the NHS Inform app, which has lots of advice on winter-related illnesses. That article was written by Kevin McRoberts.
Hello and happy Christmas to you, or Merry Christmas, whatever you prefer. And it's Philip here with the church news from the district news from the Kirkintilloch Herald. And first of all, we are going to Cadder Parish Church beside the canal. For full details, please see our website, allthewscadderchurch.org. We look forward to welcome you this coming Sunday to our morning service at 10:30 a.m, which is our lesson and carol service, which will be led by the Reverend John McGregor. Music, as usual, led by Jose Javier. Our church services are videoed and recorded and are available from the church website. Tea and coffee served after each service. The coffee shop is open Tuesday to Thursday 10 a.m. to 2 p.m, that is, and Friday 10 a.m. to 12 noon at the South Hall. Food Bank, if you wish to donate to the local food bank, you can bring your donations of food to the church or the coffee shop. Early fellowship in the South Hall Chapel at 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday and Thursday, and also on Zoom. Cadder singers celebrating Christmas with our Girls Brigade in the church on December the 22nd at 7 p.m. Christmas Eve Christingo service, South Hall at 4 p.m. Watch night service in the church at 11:30 p.m. and Christmas Day services is at 10:30 a.m. in the morning. And now to Springfield, Cambridge. Our Sunday, December the 22nd morning worship will be conducted by Ian Taylor in the sanctuary at 11 a.m. An offering will be taken during the service. Please place your offering in the offering plates as they are passed around the congregation. Tea and coffee will be served as usual in the Cameron Hall after morning worship. Come and enjoy the fellowship. The Sunday school meets in room 2, where creche facilities are also available. Morning worship is also live streamed on the Springfield Cambridge Church YouTube channel. A link to this can be found, on www.springfieldcambridge.org.uk and Facebook page, where up-to-date information about events and organisations can also be found. There will be a vestry hour on Wednesday, December the 18th at 10 a.m. for anyone wishing to speak with the minister. There will be a short weekly service of worship in the Springfield Chapel on Wednesday, December the 18th from 11:10 a.m. till 11:30 a.m, followed by tea and coffee in the Hall of Fellowship. The Guild is inviting the congregation to join them in supporting the Eastern Banshire Food Bank warehouse by bringing donations and leaving them in the cupboard in the cloakroom. A list is attached to the cupboard door as usual, identifying specific items, let me get my tongue in gear here, specially requested. The City of Glasgow Wind Orchestra holds their annual Christmas concert in the church on Friday, December the 20th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets, £10 or £8 are available at the door. Refreshments, yes, at the interval will be served in the Cameron Hall. The evening should finish approximately around 9:30 p.m. Yes, and that is the news from that paper. And now I go to the other part of the paper, because you realise that the Kirky News is spreads the church news over various pages. But I'm going to Milton Campsie now. One of the favourite churches in Eastern Battenshire. The Mary and Joseph Advent journey, which we've been talking about for the last few weeks, has been eventful. They have stayed overnight in 12 Milton or Campsie homes and are now making their way through Lennoxtown, followed by countless sheep. The final destination will be the Christingo service at the Campsie Church on Christmas Eve, after which hopefully they'll visit our Christmas Day service along with baby Jesus. Our youth Christmas celebration, when Christmas hearts and stories around the Christmas tree have now taken place. We look forward to Friday, December the 20th, community carol singing at the Village Cross, 2:30 p.m. as school finishes. Continued on main page. No, I don't read that bit. That's just to let you know that I'm going to another page now. And we shall visit Campsie Church's Christingo service on Christmas Eve at 6:30 p.m, followed by our own watch night service beginning at 11:20 p.m. Join us in person or via YouTube or Facebook. Then at 11 a.m. on Christmas Day, join us in person and bring one of your gifts for us to see. The groups, toddler group, that is, on Mondays at 9:45 a.m, Hobbies Club at 2 p.m, badminton at 7:30 p.m, Cafe Connect on Tuesdays from 9:30 a.m. Time to Pray is on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. BB, Anchor and Junior sections meet at 6:15 p.m. on Fridays. Copies of their magazine, The Messenger, have been put through every letterbox in the village. Our Advent study continues on Sunday when we look at Paula Goodyear's Women of the Nativity. Join us again this Sunday at 10:15 a.m. that is, in our Eric Leder room. Now to Lenzie Union Church. You are warmly invited to our church services Sunday, December the 22nd. The Nativity service, including baptism, is led by the Reverend John Campbell. Tuesday, December the 24th, 6:30 p.m, Christmas Eve family service with Peace Light at 11:30 p.m, joint watch night service at Lenzie Old with mince pies and hot drinks available from 11 p.m. The meeting place, coffee shop and coffee pot are closed for the Christmas holidays on December the 11th. We wish all our customers a happy Christmas and a peaceful New Year and look forward to welcoming you again on Wednesday, January 8th at 10 a.m. until 12 noon in the new hall. And now to Kirkintilloch, at Regent Hall, Regent Street, the Church of God there. December the 18th is the Coffee Corner Christmas special at 12 noon. The programme begins with lunch, followed by a quiz, carols, a seasonal video and a Christmas message from Dr. Carol Smith. A warm welcome is extended to all. The Coffee Corner will then be closed over the Christmas and New Year period and will recommence on Wednesday, January the 8th. Our next Sunday service is at 4 p.m. on Sunday, January the 5th, and will be a New Year, New Start event with a lively programme featuring live music, topical quiz, the Birmingham Praise Band and guest speaker Brian Johnson. For up-to-date and further information on their services, check out, yes, you've guessed it, www.regenthall.org. And the text for them is unto us, or unto you as well, this day in the city of David, a Saviour, which is Christ the Lord. Lenzie Old Parish Church. The congregation of Lenzie Old Parish Church wish you a peaceful and happy Christmas and invite you to celebrate Christmas on Sunday, December the 22nd at 11 a.m, lessons and carol service. Tuesday, December the 24th at 4 p.m. and a Christingo service for the whole family at 11:30 p.m. and a watch night service at 11:30 for mince pies and hot drinks. And then to Kirkintilloch, St Mary's Parish Church. The service on Sunday, December the 22nd will begin at 11 a.m. and will be taken by the Reverend Dr. Ruth Morrison. During the service, our annual nativity will take place, our traditional watch night service, during which we will welcome in Christmas Day, and will take place on Tuesday, December the 24th and begin at 11 p.m. Wednesday welcome will resume on Wednesday, January the 8th, and that's 2025. Wow. Kenmure Parish Church. Our service for the fourth Sunday in Advent will take place the form of a traditional 9 carols and lessons beginning at 11 a.m. It will be led by Fiona McCormack on Tuesday, December the 24th. We will be holding our popular pyjama service for the young ones. Reverend Susan Anderson will take the service, and beginning at 6 p.m, later on Christmas midnight service will start at 11:15 p.m. on Christmas Day. We will begin a short service, beginning at 11 a.m. Visitors to the area will be made very welcome when they join us for our services. You can attend either in person or online on their YouTube channel. The service on YouTube can be watched live as it is streamed, or later at a time that suits you. You can find our channel by simply searching for Kenmure Bishopbriggs on YouTube. There will be a period of fellowship following the service in the hall when teas and coffees, juice and biscuits are served. The most up-to-date details of all our groups that are currently running may be found on the What's On section of our website, kenmure-church.co.uk. And to find us on Facebook, that is, just search for Kenmure Parish Church. And if you'd like to join the WhatsApp group, get in touch with kenmurechurch@icloud.com. And St David's Memorial Park Church. Next Sunday, December the 22nd, our service will be at the usual time of 10:30 a.m. and this will be followed by a congregational Christmas party. Everyone is welcome, and if you'd like to attend the party, could you give your name to the church office? And you can call them on 0141 776 4989. Just so we know how many to cater for. On Christmas Eve, there will be a joint watch night service in St Mary's Parish Church starting at 11 p.m. On Christmas Day, the only church service being held in Kirkintilloch and Lenzie will be in St David's Memorial Park Parish Church beginning at 10:30 a.m. Children are invited to bring along one of their gifts from Santa. Well, that's amazing. And then to Home Church, which is on Lanamere Road, Kirkintilloch. And also they have a sister church in the East End in Carlisle, and it's a church for all ages. An angel appeared to the shepherds tending their flocks. "Don't be afraid," he said. "I bring you good news that will bring joy to all. The Saviour, yes, the Messiah, the Lord, has been born today in Bethlehem, the city of David." And that text is from Luke, the Gospel of Luke. And then on Sunday, December the 22nd at 9:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m, worship service followed by refreshments. A warm welcome waits you all at either service, which will be identical. Sunday school and creche available at both services. Christmas Eve and service is at 6:30 and 8 p.m. Home Church Carmel worship service from 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m, plus various activities over the festive season. Home radio, yes, Home radio is on 24/7. Tune into Home Radio, which is a great Christian radio station, and I have a show on a Monday night, so you should tune into that. Yes, and if you want any other information, check out their Facebook, their Instagram, and their church website for the latest information for Carmel and Kirkintilloch. And now to Torrance Parish Church. The morning service in person is at 10:30 a.m, conducted by the Reverend Stuart Irvin. During the service, the youngsters meet together in creche, junior church, and the Frog Group. To join the service online, click Torrance Parish Church online.church. There will be carol singing at the cafe on Wednesday, December the 18th, from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. The Boys Brigade meet on Wednesday evening from 7 till 9 p.m. Our Christmas sing-along is on Thursday, December the 19th, from 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. with light buffet served. On Saturday, December the 21st, come along to our festival music extravaganza at 7 p.m. To find out about our regular weekly activities, yes, you guessed it, check the What's On at www.tpc.org.uk, and TPC stands for Torrance Parish Church. So there you have it, all the church news for East Dunbartonshire from the Kirkintilloch Herald, and I just want to wish you, before it all happens, a very Merry Christmas, and I'll speak to you again next week. God bless.
Wednesday the 18th of December, District News General. Nature, £1.1 million for nature recovery projects. Hedgerow planting. Nature Scot has awarded grants totalling over £1 million to projects that will restore bogs for rare dragonflies in northern Scotland, create hedgerows for sparrows in Glasgow, and help bring back native oysters to the Bay of Firth in Orkney. More than £55 million has been awarded through the Scottish Government's Nature Restoration Fund since its launch in 2021, including to 230 projects through the competitive scheme run by Nature Scot. Now, a further 12 projects are being supported to take actions that will help tackle nature loss and climate change. The British Dragonfly Society has been granted £225,238 to restore nature and biodiversity in peatlands, which will improve the survival of the rarest dragonflies. RSPB Scotland has been awarded £46,660 to improve the quality and connection between urban species-rich grasslands and hedgerows. This will improve habitat for house sparrows, which have suffered a 90% decline since the 1970s, and pollinators such as the common blue butterfly, which has seen a 38% decline in distribution since 1982. People will also enjoy safer, greener active travel routes to the natural spaces created. North Bay Innovations will receive £63,061 to develop a project to restore native oyster beds to the Bay of Firth, Orkney. These beds were a major feature for centuries up until they were finally fished out between the world wars in the 20th century. Minister for Climate Action, Dr Allen, said, "The Scottish Government is fully committed to halting the loss of biodiversity by 2030 and making progress to restore and regenerate it by 2045. The projects benefiting from our Nature Restoration Fund epitomise this type of work we need to see across the country to restore wildlife and habitats on both land and sea. Everyone has a responsibility to protect and restore our natural environment for generations to come, and I have no doubt that these exciting projects will encourage more people to join in the fight to address the biodiversity crisis." Nature Scot Chair Professor Colin Galbraith said, "These exciting new restoration projects are not only working to help restore Scotland's nature and increase our resilience to climate change." Meet Chips, a 1-year-old Staffordshire Bull Terrier. Playful pup needs a new home. Chips is looking for a quiet, understanding home with children aged 16 and above, and no other pets. A secure garden where he can play, explore, and bond with his family would be perfect for this gentle boy. Chips adores his family and loves nothing more than cuddling up on the couch for a snuggle. He seeks reassurance and thrives in a calm, patient environment where owners can take things slowly, allowing him to build trust at his own pace. He may be shy at first, but once he bonds, Chips will shower his family with love and loyalty. If you think you could provide a home for Chips, or any of the 40 dogs currently available for rehoming, please contact Dogs Trust West Calder on 01506 873 459. Voices 2025. Voices, the only national creative writing competition for children in care and young care leavers, run by Quorum Voice, is open for entries until March 23rd. Quorum Voice, a leading charity championing the voice of care-experienced children and young people, will celebrate its 50th anniversary in 2025 and is inviting all care-experienced children and young people aged 4 to 25 to enter the competition and showcase their creativity. The theme of this year's competition, sponsored for the 5th year running by UK management consultancy Cadence Innova, is My Voice. Entries must be 500 words or under and can be submitted in written form or video format, including poems, short stories, raps, songs or newspaper articles. There are 4 age categories: primary school, 4 to 10, lower secondary school, age 11 to 14, upper secondary school, age 15 to 17, and care leavers, age 18 to 25. Entries can be submitted online at quorumvoice.org.uk/voices. That's CORAMVOICE.org.uk/VOICES. Entries will be judged by an expert panel of acclaimed children's authors. Previous judges include the former Children's Laureate Lauren Child, Waterstones Children's Book Award winner Patches Lawrence, and the multi-award winning children's author Jarvis. Judges for the 2025 edition will be announced shortly, alongside a group of young judges who were finalists in previous years of the competition. Bridget Robinson, Managing Director of Quorum Voice, said, "The Voices competition is the only dedicated competition for caring experienced young people, offering them the chance to write or perform a piece on what matters to them most." And that was this week's General District News. Wednesday the 18th of December, Public Notices. East Dunbartonshire Council Public Notices. Member Surgeries. Councillors' arrangements for interviewing residents. Ward 7, Bishopbriggs South. Councillor Gordon Lowe. 21st December 2024. Bishopbriggs Library and Community Hub. Room 1. 11:15am to 12 noon. Councillor Gordon Lowe, 21st December 2024, Auchennairn Early Years and Community Centre, Room 1, 12:30pm to 1:15pm. Ward 7, Kirkintilloch East and North and Twecker, Councillor Stuart MacDonald, 18th December 2024, Twecker Healthy and Living Centre, 5:30pm to 6pm. Councillor Stuart MacDonald, 18th December 2024, Hillhead Community Centre, 6:15pm to 6:45pm. Between surgeries, councillors can be contacted at the Members Support Unit on 0300 12345 10. Planning applications. TP/ED/24/0659 25 Kirkintilloch Road, Bishopbriggs, East Dunbartonshire, G64 2AN. Removal of external porch and formation of external doors to rear with associated decking. Section 65. Affecting CA. 21 days. If you are unable to view the plans on the Council's website, then please contact the Planning Duty Officers to arrange a suitable time to view the plans in our offices. Written comments may be made within the above period to the Council, through the Council's website, or to the above address. Any representations will be treated as public documents and made available for inspection by interested parties, and may also be published on the Council's website. And that was the public notices on Wednesday, the 18th of December.
Julie is named as Best Coach, written by Brian Yule. Rossvale women boss Julie McSherry was named Championship and League One Coach of the Year at the Scottish Power Scottish Women's Football Awards. Recognition during the ceremony at Hampden Park came off the back of a campaign that saw Rossvale win a league and cup double as they earned promotion to the SWPL2. McSherry said, "I'm delighted obviously to receive this recognition. I had so many people telling me I was going to win, but given the way Ayr had finished the season, I had convinced myself Craig McMorrow and I should get the award. As such, it was genuinely a bit of a surprise when they read my name out. But this isn't just for me, it is recognition for all our wonderful staff. Really, they should rename the award to Coaching Staff of the Year." This wasn't the only award Rossvale won, as Megan Whiteford was named Player of the Year in the Barclays Championship. Whiteford was nominated alongside teammate Gemma McQuillan, and McSherry believes either would have been a worthy winner. She said, "Both Megan and Gemma had outstanding seasons, so either would have deserved to win. I'm delighted for Megan as she joined us after taking some time out the game and showed just how brilliant she is as both a footballer and as a person." Rossvale were also nominated for Sustainable Club of the Year, which went to West Dyke. Mick Docherty lost out to Paul Murray of Bayside for Youth Coach of the Year, and Sophie Ambrosini was pipped to Young Player of the Year by Rangers Motherwell striker Laura Berry. McSherry said, taking home 2 of the awards we were up for is a wonderful end to what has been a great year. Bit disappointed not to take home all of the prizes, of course, but we can only congratulate the worthy winners. Rossvale were at Ayr United on Sunday in their final game of the year, but lost 3-1. Written by Brian Yule, read by Alan Todd. Ref's whistle-stop tour of Football Memories groups. Participants of Football Memories groups across Scotland will hear from former referees on a whistle-stop tour of the country. For the second season in a row, retired refs will speak at meetings of the project, which assist people living with memory loss, as well as those experiencing loneliness and social isolation. The special tour got underway at Bishopbriggs, home to Elgin City, where ex-whistler Bill McRae was joined by former Scotland captain Colin Hendry. Hendry said, "Schemes like these are brilliant for raising awareness of memory loss conditions and providing people with a space to have a cup of tea and a chat." Football Memories Scotland is a charitable project run by the Scottish Football Museum in partnership with Alzheimer's Scotland. With more than 600 groups around the country, Football Memories uses engaging football-themed resources in a memory box to stir memories and discussions led by volunteers. Specsavers will sponsor the boxes for the referee tour and help provide new memorabilia such as old football boots, photographs of former referees and other essential equipment. Robert Craig, chair of the Scottish Football Museum, said, "We're excited to get underway once again with the first referee visit of the season in our renewed partnership with Specsavers. Their continued support of the project, which impacts the lives of all who touch it, is invaluable and helps us to carry on delivering for those living with memory loss conditions or experiencing isolation." This article was not attributed. Working to aid growth of the game. Written by Don Renton. The Scottish Secretary Ian Murray MP met with the SFA at Hampden Park, where they discussed work to continue growing the game in Scotland. To date, almost 100 projects in Scotland have been funded, with £20 million through the Multisports Grassroots Facilities Scheme, which is delivered by the Department for Culture, Media and Sport, DCMS, in partnership with the SFA. The programme has provided much needed support to local communities in Scotland to deliver new and upgraded facilities such as changing rooms and pavilions, state-of-the-art 3G artificial grass pitches and brand new floodlights. Through the life cycle of the Grassroots Multisport Facilities Investment Programme, which will run to 2025, Scotland will receive £20 million to help nurture the talent of the future. Mr Murray is the MP for Edinburgh South and was previously chairman of the Foundation of Hearts. He said, "It's been thrilling to see Scotland back on the biggest stage under Steve Clarke, and it was fantastic to hear from the SFA and how they are working to help make the game accessible to anyone who wants to participate. With the help of funding from the UK Government, they have supported clubs across Scotland, including building facilities in many of our island and rural communities. This is helping more people get involved in sport and physical activity, particularly those in underrepresented groups. As we build towards Euro 2028, I look forward to working together to ensure everyone has the opportunity to play our national sport, as we support the team on the biggest stage." SFA President Mike Mulroney said, "We are grateful to DCMS for their investment in recent years, which has been extremely valuable in improving grassroots and community facilities across Scotland and helping to make our national game accessible to all. The challenge we have set for ourselves now is to maintain this momentum of improving grassroots facilities across the nation, and following the positive meeting we look forward to working with our colleagues in the UK Government to continue the progress made." Written by Don Renton, read by Alan Todd. Athletics can be positive for our mental health. Written by Brian Yule. Springburn Harriers coach Barbara Knox believes athletics can have a positive impact in helping young people with their mental health. Barbara has this year organised a number of events locally, plus introduced mental health workshops for her club. This saw her named Scottish Athletics Volunteer of the Year at the 4J Annual Awards back in October. Since then, Barbara has been braving the cold on training nights at Hunters Hill, but is warmed by the impact the club can have. She told Scottish Athletics, "At Springburn Harriers, we do feel the club can have a big role in people's lives. The mental health aspect is important to us, and we have worked with SAMH, Scottish Action for Mental Health, for a number of years now. We know the positive effect doing sport can have on mental health. It is not just doing sport, it can be coaching, volunteering, or being an official for Scottish athletics. Spending time with other people can be very positive for mental health, and I think athletic clubs can be great for that for people. I was delighted to accept the Volunteer of the Year trophy at the 4J Awards night. It was an honour even to be nominated for the award. I did not know that initially, so I was excited to hear when the shortlist was announced. There were lots of other great nominees up for it, but I was so pleased to win. I'm a coach and an official, and I love having those two roles. In coaching, you have an impact on the young people at your own club directly. Then, when you go to events and you are officiating, you get to see others from clubs around Scotland. You get to know them, and as you are officiating over the years, you see them on their journey. You make friends with other officials and you help make our sport happen. International Volunteer Day took place earlier this month, and Barbara is part of an army of volunteers ensuring athletics can take place across the country. Scottish Athletics Chief Executive Colin Hutchison said, "One of the key messages we like to underline is that everyone has a role to play. There is a wide cross-section of folk within the sport all making big contributions to make it happen." Written by Brian Yule, read by Alan Todd. City quickly back on top of the table. Glasgow City have returned to the top of the SWPL 1 table after briefly being knocked off their perch. A 0-0 draw at Hearts in midweek saw Rangers move into first. However, City's 3-0 win when Gers visited on Sunday retook top spot. Polish midfielder Natalia Robel grabbed a hat-trick, opening the scoring just before half-time and adding 2 more in the second period. She told the club's media team, "I think it was an amazing game and a perfect performance. We stuck with the plan and did a good job. I don't even remember the goals. I'm almost in shock, but I'm so happy to have scored my first hat-trick for City. We have a great team spirit. No matter who is playing, we help and support each other. We are like family and it is great to be here." City will aim to ensure they stay top of the league going into 2025 when they host bottom side Dundee United this Sunday. West of Scotland, results. First Division. Blantyre Victoria 1, Ashfield 1. Maple Juniors 1, Petershill 3. Kirkintilloch Rob 2, Rutherglen Glencairn 2. Second Division. Caledonian Locomotives 1, Neilston 2. Fourth Division. Carluke Rovers 3, Rossvale 3. West Park United 5, Campbelltown Pupils 4. Saturday fixtures: South Challenge Cup Round 5, Glasgow United vs Kirkintilloch Rob Roy. First Division, Petershill vs Ashfield. Third Division, Ardere Thistle vs Glasgow Perthshire. Fourth Division, Eglinton vs West Park United. This article was not attributed.
That concludes this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast. Please remember to subscribe to our channels at Tune Review and to tell your friends about our service.